My name is Billy Jo Kelly. I'm a part of Young Company from Storyhouse. We're a group of teenagers from the age of 16 to 25, and we're currently working on a piece alongside Samaritans. I'm going to introduce you to Mike. He's a listening volunteer for Samaritans and also a director of Chester Bunch.
All right. How would you start a conversation with someone who might need someone to talk to?
From my perspective, we need to distinguish between whether this is a chat or trying to find out if somebody is okay. So from Samaritan's point of view, we would never say, "Are you all right?" because that's a closed question and they can just say, "Yeah, fine," and they're not really. We work closely with rail staff, for example. If they spot somebody standing at the end of the platform that they think may be at risk, we have working relationships with them. We encourage them to walk up and say, you know, "How are you feeling? Would you like to talk to me?" So it's kind of putting them on the spot a little bit, but basically asking somebody how they're feeling is very powerful.
From my own experience of approaching somebody with getting to know if they're okay or not, I genuinely just walk over to them and I would ask them how they are. It's up to them whether they want to respond to that or not. I'd ask them how their day was going, just try and make conversation with them, make them aware that I am around them and that I am there because I care.
Picking the right time to speak to people as well is important, and like just knowing what to say, like you say, like ask them open questions, not ones that are just like gonna go nowhere and things like that.
How do you look engaged when listening to someone?
Okay, again, even though we do in Samaritans have the occasional face-to-face call, most of our callers are on the telephone. If you are face-to-face with somebody, there's the usual, you know, open body language, maintaining eye contact, although not too much. You don't want to look like a psycho. But you know what? You can overdo this stuff. You know, you can, unless you're that person that's asked, "How are you?" and you actually didn't want to know, so now you have to fake it. It comes naturally, you know. If you care about somebody and you've asked them how they're feeling because you really, really want to know, or you're just being nosy and you want to know what's going on in their life, you will be engaged. So, you know, don't overthink it. Don't worry too much about thinking, "I must maintain eye contact, I must not fold my arms."
So I think it's about listening, of course, like being engaged, and it's about absorbing what they're saying to you as well. And yeah, I completely agree. It is a natural thing, and it's important not to overthink it and just be present and repeat back to them what they're saying to you as well. Yeah.
Like, because we're quite virtual now, like, so if you're with your friends and you want to look like you're listening, like, it's easy to just look at them through the screen. Don't be like, "Oh, I'm doing this and doing this," whilst they're trying to tell you how they feel.
How can you show affection virtually?
Okay, I'm probably not in the best of positions to answer this one because, again, from the Samaritans' perspective, we try to discourage dependency in our callers. So we discourage our volunteers saying, you know, "Oh, take care," and, you know, "Oh, you know, call us back," you know, or, you know, "I really want to know, you know, how you are. Give us a call back." We want them to get benefit from calling us, but we don't want that dependency, so we don't tend to sort of give them a virtual hug as such. I mean, callers can feel comforted simply because there was somebody there willing to pick the phone up at 3 o'clock in the morning and listen to their story, you know, so they still get comfort.
Like, just even things like a GIF or an emoji, of like someone hugging is just an easy way to show someone that you want to hug them, and just like they know that you're there, basically.
Just telling somebody, "Oh, I miss you, I really wish I could give you a hug right now." That is like a big thing. Like, I've had people say it to me over the phone, and it's just like taking a lot of stress off my shoulders.
I think I have certainly been making more of an effort. I know I'm awful for just sending a message and not actually ringing people or FaceTiming. I think I've definitely been doing more of that, less texting and more phoning up friends, just checking in with them, and yeah, just spending more time on that, really.
I'll make sure to FaceTime more then. How could you support those in your household?
I think the important thing is to observe. I think if you, I mean, apart from the day to day, just trying to be a nice person and just get along, particularly if we're in lockdown, we're very close to each other, and we can't really escape from that. If you're concerned about how someone's feeling, I think you just observe their body language. If they're becoming withdrawn, if they're becoming quiet, that type of thing, and then approach them in the same way as we discussed earlier about starting a conversation, and just say, "Now, how are you feeling? Would you like to talk?" And reassure them that this is a private conversation and it's not going to go to anybody else in the family.
Because like we actually know our family members probably more than we than they know themselves sometimes. I think we can kind of spot things like, oh, maybe they're being a bit withdrawn today, maybe they're being a bit snappy, why are they behaving like that? And I think, yeah, we probably spot more than we realise. And I think, yeah, just realising that, maybe approaching it in a non-confrontational way, obviously, and just trying to navigate that, I suppose.
Another way I have been supporting those within my family is like just being there for them, helping them out with little things. With my mum, I've been helping her clean out her house. I've been like decorating and stuff like that, and just like getting to know her a bit more and like building a relationship. I feel like that's taken a bit of stress off my family with everything that's going on at the moment. So just being around them, not too much though, because it can get a bit confrontational and you do end up having the odd argument. As you do, being around someone too much, they can get a bit annoying.
Just finding hobbies and finding things to do, like you've got to keep yourself busy, you've got to like have a routine and stuff. So like on Wednesdays, me and my mum paint, and then like me and my dad would play the Wii like every night and stuff. So it's just things like that.
Going into the discussion side of things, would you care to tell us about how hearing from your friends can help you?
Yeah, okay, so to recap, dealing with friends, okay. Once again, showing my age here, I'm afraid. I've definitely brought the average age up by joining in this panel. I think as you get older, you have fewer and fewer friends. I think friends are really important when you're younger. And I'm sorry if that sounds condescending. I don't mean it to at all. But I think it becomes less and less important as you get older, and you become a lot more introverted. And certainly, at my time of life, I actually prefer animals to humans. And animals just are. They don't expect anything from you except to be fed. I'm not qualified to answer the question. However, I would like to make a comment about friendship. And I do get a sensation that people are very lonely. Whatever your Facebook and Twitter feeds may imply, I think there's a lot of lonely people there. And I think making proper contact with your friends, and that isn't a like and it's not a retweet, You know, making proper contact with your friends is a very powerful thing. And I think there's a danger that people have got lazy, you know, and they think that just a one sentence comment on someone's post or a like is sufficient. And I would caution against that and say, if you value your friends, that ain't enough. You need to keep in touch.
I can completely agree with that. I've had a big problem with social media for as long as I can remember social media being out for. It's just general lack of communication. Like, people are hiding behind a phone screen and creating this persona of themselves that's not even true, and their friends are obviously gonna get confused over that. Like, I posted something online and my friends have rang me up and gone, oh, like, what happened here? And it's been nothing to do with why I posted that. So they can get a sense of like falseness when you do go online. But just like talking to my friends, creating memories with them and talking about like past memories and what you'd want to do in the future and stuff like that. And just genuinely being around that person. I know right now it's not really a good time to do that. So talking about those things is like a really good thing to do, and it's what I've been doing myself personally for the past 4 months.
Like, social media does help. Like,
Yeah.
things like TikTok, like me and my friends have found like a thing in common of using that, and like we share them with each other. So it is helpful at the same time, because it does give you a bit of like happiness for a bit. But then, yeah, I think that like meeting with my friends on Zoom, we do a Zoom every week, and it's just so nice to like see them. And we haven't got much to talk about because life's not really very exciting at the moment, but when we do have stuff to talk about, it is fun. And yeah, we're just looking forward to meeting together when we can.
Tell us about activities you have done together as a family.
The dogs love it. We've been going, we've never been on so many walks, and it's great because I live in the middle of the countryside, and I'm always finding new walks every day still, actually. And I think I've so valued that time, actually, with my family and going for walks. And you know, my brothers would like never ever go for walks before lockdown. I think, you know, they're kind of glad to get out the house for a bit. So it's been, you know, really, really nice to spend that time together again. That's the main thing, really. I suppose we've been eating together a bit more. And yeah, just spending more time in the garden, you know, doing odd jobs and things together. We, you know, pulled together quite well, I think.
Me and my family tried to play a game of Monopoly, which said we were only going to keep it to 2 hours, but like it just goes on for so long, and my mum wouldn't give up. You have to win. So that's one activity that we did, but we often do like movie nights on a Friday and things like that, which is quite nice.
So would you care to tell us about what it feels like when you listen to others, or when you have someone to talk to?
I guess I'm starting off again with this. I think I probably am qualified to answer this one, hopefully.
Okay.
With regards to Samaritans. And the overall theme of this panel is what makes a good listener. Now, in Samaritans, we have extensive training, and being a good listener involves things like encouragement and summarizing and clarification and effective use of silence and all this sort of stuff. But if I had just one answer, it would be shut up. Normally, when we're having a conversation, there's a guy called Stephen Covey. He's an author and a keynote speaker, and he said something along the lines of most people don't listen intending to understand, they listen with the intent to reply. And if you think about that, it's perfectly true. We have a conversation and we think we're listening to a person, but we're not. We're waiting for a gap in the conversation so that we can come out with that really funny anecdote or the time that happened to me. Because let's face it, the most important person on the planet is me. You know, and it's always the way, isn't it, in conversation? So conversations are always about us and not about them. So if I could say what makes a good listener, I would say, shut up. Nobody cares. Nobody cares about you. You know, you should listen. If you really want to listen to the other person, you should listen to them as if you're going to be tested on it later. You know, you should seek and ask questions of them that helps you understand them. Either understand what they've been through or how they're feeling. And if you don't understand, ask them.
Like, I don't even know what to say. I mean, I completely agree with you, like in every single way possible. But wow, I think that's going to be a big eye opener for all.
It's so funny because like it's so true. But like when we're at the dinner table eating, I constantly get interrupted, like mostly by my brother. The conversation lands on me for about 2 seconds. So like when I'm talking to my friends on Zoom, it's so much nicer because I feel like they actually do listen to me because I'm talking away then. But with my family, I'm like, okay, yeah, I'll shut up now then.
I think naturally, I think being a good listener is it's kind of just being quiet, like you said. It's just literally allowing that person, you know, your time and actually absorbing what they're saying. And I think it's a great feeling knowing that you can help someone and that your advice is valued in a sense. I think that's also a nice feeling.
Can I give some advice to Becky?
Yes.
Next time your brothers are interrupting you around the dinner table, there's a technique you can use, and the technique is whatever you're saying, finish saying it. So don't raise your voice, don't shout it, don't try and talk louder than everybody else. But if you're in the middle of talking and somebody interrupts you, you just pretend that didn't happen and you just carry on talking in a normal voice and you finish your sentence and you finish when you are ready to finish. And gradually over time, they will look like idiots. Okay?
I will definitely give that a try.
I'm so trying that as well, my brothers. So trying. I think it's just brothers.
Don't raise your voice, finish talking, and then just carry on.
I think I'm going to give that a try as well.
Okay. But yes, if anybody needs to contact Samaritans, and can I just point out, you don't need to be suicidal to call Samaritans. You know, we're not there to just have a chat. But we do get calls from people who are very lonely and feeling isolated and need to hear a kind voice. And we will always talk to people who are despairing or lonely on the basis that talking to those people now will hopefully stop them reaching the point of feeling suicidal. And there is always somebody on the end of the phone, 24 hours a day, any day of the year. It's a free phone number and it's 116 123. So it's 116 123. It doesn't show on your phone bill and it's free, and there is always somebody there that will talk to you and let you get your feelings out in a safe environment.